All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Double honors to the apostle elders, a great millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shatia from the Chicago camp coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And as you can see on this New York Post, it's speaking of how Biden's inhumane border policies drive migrants into prostitution. Now, I'm not going to read or go too much into the article, but just give you the highlights. And just to sum up the article, it explains how you have all these migrants coming in from South America and other countries to America for a better living, only to realize that everything that they've been told about America or what they perceived about America is untrue. Okay. As the old saying goes, they're starting to realize they went from the frying pan to the fire, or is it the fire to the frying pan? Whatever the case may be. But basically, it's an expression they done left a bad situation for an even more worse situation. Because now they're realizing, like, yeah, you guys are putting us in these buildings and you give us these cars for food, but there's no jobs out here. There's literally nothing for us out here. Okay, and many of these people, the money that they get, it's not enough. Many of these women who are single, who are coming over here, knowing no English, have no job, have no connections, they're like, dude, we got to get food somehow. So what do? They resorting to the oldest profession that a woman can do to make money: sell herself. And this is the grim reality of what many of these migrants are facing. Because you better believe that if this is happening in New York, it's going to spread to other cities. It's going to spread to all the major cities, especially the ones that are considered blue states and migrant friendly cities. So it's going to be your New Yorks. It's going to be your Chicagos. It's going to be your Detroits, your Californias. Okay. All your so-called migrant cities. There's going to be red light districts popping up everywhere. Women just selling themselves because they see no other way to provide some type of living for themselves. They came to a place that it's on its downfall, and that's about to get destroyed. All right, they trust it, and you know what? That's a good one to get. Hmm. Let's see. Man, both of these are good. 30 and 2 there. I'm going to get both of them, then skip to 31. Isaiah 30 and 1. It says, woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. All right. And that's what our many of these migrants have done. All right. Because we got brothers in South America. All right. We got brothers that are preaching this truth. So these migrants can't say that they don't know about the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. They can't say that they don't know that America is the great future place of judgment. But see, you got a lot of these Jakes coming up here, trusting in Egypt, hoping for a better living, all just to be in the same situation, if not worse, than the situation that we were in before. In verse 7 says, for the Egyptians shall help in vain and to no purpose. Yeah, they got housing. Yeah, they can just call the ambulance like anybody else. Abuse the system in the sense that many people call 911 for nonsense. That's what I mean by abuse the system. Okay. They can go to any hospital they want to and they can get seen. But outside of that, that's all they get. They don't have a job. They don't have any connections. They don't know English. So it's like they trusted that this government would help them, but it's to no avail. Because you better believe if they were living in bad conditions in South America, you know they was prostituting themselves there. So when they come here and they find out they're in the same situation, what do you think they're going to do again? They're going to keep prostituting themselves. All right. Isaiah 31:1. It says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong, but they look not into the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. That's that counsel. You got all these Jakes who are trusting in the government to provide for them, to help them establish a better living in America than what they did in South America. They trusted that when they come here, everything would be okay. In a couple of months, maybe a year or two, things will work out. But it's not working out. And I've seen the situation myself. All right. You got a lot of Jakes packed into these buildings. You got a ridiculous amount of Jakes that are packed in these buildings. And depending on where I need to go into Chicago, I pass by a lot of them. All right. You got Jake sitting outside these buildings. Man, it's 11, 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And they still out there with their little 6, 7-year-olds asking for money, trying to get food. You got 8-year-old little Jakes on these little scooters just rolling by the building and playing on the streets. I'm just like, damn, dude, this is bad. You see them in front of the police station, man. It looks like it looks like a urban campground. Like we just read in the previous chapter, hey, trusting in Egypt for many of our people is going to be their shame. Because all these migrants, as I mentioned earlier, hey, whether they realize it or not, they came all this way to America to either one, get the horrible judgment of these ICBM missiles, or perhaps to be saved. You know, That's really what it is. It's just unfortunate that until that time comes, many of them are going to be stuck in this position where they're going to be prostituting themselves. And not only is this going to be in New York, as I said earlier, it's going to spread to these other places, and eventually it'll get to the so-called red states. Because a situation like this can't just contain itself in one area. It's going to spread. And as long as they keep letting Jacob in here from South America and these other places, it's only going to get worse. So, yeah, man, it's bad. But nonetheless, I hope you all were edified. Till the next time, we're going to say shalom.